everyone, welcome to the channel. Today's video is all about my February coloring plans. Now, I noticed in Amanda Colors coloring planner for 2025, throughout all the months, she shows the coloring dates. And every month has like a whole lot of days that are special or there's themes. So February is the fae or fairy theme for Faebury, and then later on in May we've got mermaid, June is unicorn, and so on. So I've decided that I really love this idea and I want to actually give it a fair shot. So for February I'm going to focus on fairy images and see how I go. However, that being said, there are coloring books and pages that I do want to color that aren't related to the fairy theme. So for the first part of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the coloring pages that are WIPs I want to complete or other coloring plans I have for certain goals or requests that have been made on the channel. And then the second half of the video is going to be all the fairy themed pages I found in my coloring books. Now, obviously, my goal for the month is to color 6 to 8 pages. And if I can do that, I will be very, very happy. If I exceed that, I will be ecstatic. However, realistically speaking, I think 6 to 8 pages in a month is a pretty good goal. So I'm not going to get to coloring everything that I show you. However, I like to just look through my books and share it with you. So these are the books that are not related to the Faebury theme. However, there are books I would like to focus on in this month besides looking at fairy themes. So let's start with the flower year. And then I'll come to main rice Dutch Asian and then work my way down. So let's just move this out the way. All right, so we have the flower year. Quite a few of you have asked me to do color along videos in the flower year this year. I was actually surprised at how much this book is being requested. I honestly thought more requests would be made for Leila Dooley's more recent coloring books. So this one is actually quite old, I think. Let's see, when was the publishing date? Okay, so it was reprinted twice in 2020 and then again in 2021. So it was first published in 2017. And because it's a lot older, I wasn't really expecting the amount of requests I got. So I really, really thank you for encouraging me to color in this book, because I didn't realize it was still interesting to color as far as those of you who watch the channel or enjoy color alongs. I like to color in this book in monthly order. So let's have a look at the February pages. I didn't get anything done in January, which for some reason seems to always be my January case. Okay, so I have this page. This is the cover page for February. Then we have, I think it's daisies and then dandelions. There is the blue tits and the catkins. The spring snowflake and the primrose. And I think I finished, yeah, I did the daisy here. So what I'm really leaning towards is either this page, and I could do a quick little video for each flower, or I'm really leaning towards the blue tit page. I think it would be a lot of fun to actually color them. I would really want to go slow and see how accurately I can color them. I haven't colored birds in a while, and I don't tend to color birds a lot, and it would be just a fun exercise. So I'm thinking a very gentle blue background, or maybe I can make a hazy background. I'm not yet sure, but I think it would probably be best to keep it simple and then work on the birds, etc. So I am leaning towards this one. However, if I want to be very quick about it, I will probably do the spring snowflake and the primrose. So those are the ideas for the flower year by Layla Dooley. In Mine Race Dirt Asian, I would like to finish my whip here. So this is my swatch for everything I'm coloring in this book. Just keeping a list of all my color combos. So as you know from my January completed pages and whips video, I started this page and I need to finish it. So I really want to finish filming and coloring this page. And then I want to come in and do this page here with the Russian doll. I think it would be really, really lovely. And I haven't yet decided on colors, but I am drawn to it. I think it would be quite a simple page, especially if I leave it white and just focus on this design here. I think it would simplify things a lot. I'm not sure yet if there's another page I'd like to do, but I'm thinking, realistically speaking, if I finish the whip and get started on this, that would be a good month. So fingers crossed. I'm always hopeful. As I mentioned, I think it was in December or early January. Hope is the word for 2025 for me. So I'm going to keep hope alive. All right. Obviously, as I've mentioned, I want to color 2 pages in Magical Dawn each month at a minimum. So this is a priority for me. I haven't decided yet which pages I would like to do. Probably something quick, but you never know. I might surprise myself and go for something more challenging. So we'll see how it goes. But I definitely need to come into Magical Dawn. And then I have Fairy Tales and Folklore coloring book by Emily Lederhall-Oberg. And this is a buddy color. There's an Instagram group buddy color. And this is the page that has been selected. As you can see, I'm really behind. I haven't even started. So I do need to come in and color this beautiful little illustration. And I think I really just need to sit down and kind of focus on what's going on, decide on a color palette, and then just go ahead and create it. So that would be lovely to do this one. That's in Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lederhall-Oberg. Of course, I have got Mythic World by Kirby Rosannes. So I'm just going to zoom you out a wee bit. Okay, so in here I have got my Siren Whip. However, this isn't a top priority. It is, if nothing else, I'll do it in Mermaid. I have got my Charybdis and Skylar page that I really want to finish. I've almost finished this page and then I have a bit left here. So I think I could probably finish it in a weekend if I sat down and just diligently got on with it. I also have this page I need to finish coloring on camera and upload it to the channel. So this is another top priority for me on weekends to do. So those are my Kirby pages. I do have a third whip somewhere in here, which is the Egyptian one. So I've got this one. So I could come into doing this one too if I'm really feeling motivated. And my page, but this is the double page spread I want to do on the channel, and I really want to do this one. So I'm probably not going to get all of this done this month, but those are the pages I want to work in probably February and March. I'm just really enjoying Kirby Rosannes at the moment, so I want to, kind of go with the flow and not resist it. Just because I have a whole lot of books. Doesn't mean I have to color in everyone every month. So I'm trying to figure this out. Like, you know, do I color in just my favorites? How do I color in my books and do them justice? Either which way, you know, I think it's all about enjoying the hobby. So I've got these sort of options. And for some reason, I'm really enjoying this book, which is interesting because when it came out, I wasn't quite sure about it. The more I color Kirby's books, the more confident I become, the more I understand his illustrations. So they actually are very relaxing and easy to color. So I do enjoy that. Okay, I'm going to now move on into the fairy side of my coloring plans. Here we have Christine Caron's Fairy and Fantasy 2 and Wildflower Folk. Both of them have got fairies in. However, Fairy and Fantasy 2, I only have one fairy left as far as with wings. So I decided that for me, when I think of fairies, they have wings on them and pointy ears. And the only one that I've got left in this book is the Leaf Riders. So I'm leaning towards maybe doing this on a live stream video. But we do have options. I do have the Sugar Plum Fairy in Wildflower Folk, but I've already colored this one. So let's go into Wildflower Folk now. So I'm just checking again, making sure, because I think it was more. Okay, so we have Dreamy Fae. I think she's just absolutely beautiful. And what I love with Christine Caron's designs, they are gently grayscaled, which really is fun because a lot of the guesswork is taken out. So it helps with that, I suppose, like you don't have to worry about where everything needs to go. It's already there for you and you're just coloring on top of it. So in some ways it simplifies the process and I really do enjoy that. Then we have Fae Darling, and I also think she's terribly cute. I mean, very innocent and so sweet. I have Fae. I also like her. I've seen how Christine Caron has painted this page and it's really, really beautiful. So part of me is tempted to kind of go and try and recreate her version to learn different techniques and different placings of colors and color combos. So sometimes I like to do that. It just really simplifies things for me. Here is the Sugar Plum Fairy again. Just going to do a quick check because not all of her ladies are fairies. A lot of them are just really beautiful women. You see, that could be great for Mermaid. If you are doing the Red Riding Hood hashtag on Instagram, this is a good one for you. Yeah, see, I mean, if you want to do pointy ears, and if that counts as fairy, you could do any of these really. I'm just keeping it really focused onto the wings. So Sugar Plum Fairy, and then this one, as you can see, I've already gotten started on it because I couldn't resist. So I will talk more about this at a later stage, probably in my February color completed pages video, but I do have all the color combos I'm using, so don't worry, I can share that with you in the end. But I really loving how this is turning out. Do I have more? Oh yes, I've got this one, and she almost looks like she's got tattoos, so I'd probably want to do something along with that. And you could maybe make that gold or yellow, but like shiny, if you wanted to. I don't think there's more. I think those were the only ones that I found in this book. Yeah. I mean, it really depends on how you interpret it, because if a fairy is just, you know, if you're looking at pointy ears and wings or just pointy ears, you can open up a lot more for yourself. But those are my ideas for Wildflower Folk and Fairy and Fantasy 2 by Christine Karen. Then I have Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. So I'm keeping to my theme of just pages with winged people, or yeah, winged people is probably the best way to describe it. And we've got this page here, which I do quite like, and you could do like those cabbage hearts. Is that what they're called? There's these flowers and they look like cabbages. So this is what it reminds me of, and I've seen them kind of like in purpley greens sort of colors. So that's what comes to mind when I think of this page. However, the page I'm more inclined to color, oh, actually you could do this one because she has got wings. I missed that, so you could do this one. There are a few other pages probably. Let's see. It wasn't an awful lot when I did look. So that one counts. We could do this one. And maybe that's a nice one because then you're tying in like Valentine's Day and love with fairies. So that could be a really great one. Then we've got this one, which is more like a sweet shop. And I quite like the thought of doing this one and using Inktense pencils as a base just to help speed up the process. So yeah, I'm leaning to this one, but now that I've seen this one, I really like this one too. So I don't know, I might have to choose one, maybe this one. I'm gonna tag it. Let's tag it and I can mull it over. Okay, so that is Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. Then I have Chris Ortega's A Colorless Kingdom Volume 1. There wasn't too many in here, but I did find this page, and I would most likely color this with alcohol markers as a base and then go over it with pencils. But I do really like this one. I do have the option to complete a whip in here, but that whip doesn't have wings. My other option is this page, and I'm quite liking this, although it's quite busy. So I think again, alcohol markers as a base, then pencils on top. I probably would do Prismacolors because I think they might be quicker. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided between Prismas and Polys, so I still need to figure this paper out. It is Amazon paper, so sometimes it can be a bit temperamental. But that is Chris Ortega, Colorless Kingdom Volume 1. Then Coloring Heaven's Fantasy Figure Special with designs by Maud Lemoyne. I found a handful of pages in here. Now, here for this page, it says a fairy spectre. I'm not sure if fairies have feathery wings. I've always known fairies to have more like transparent wings or maybe butterfly wings. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think fairies with feathery wings counts, or is there a specific type of wing that a fairy has? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. This is quite fun and quite sweet. I'm not 100% sure about the background, so I'm not sure how I'd color it, but I think it's a very nice page. I think there was one, the other one is probably a bit easier for my brain, and it's this one. So it's a fairy carnival. Again, you don't really see her having wings. I'm kind of going by the name, which they've called it a fairy carnival. So maybe these are a little bit more open to interpretation. But I think you could have a lot of vibrant colors here and it would look really, really cool. Or you could do a limited color palette. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe pinks and greens and whites, or maybe very strong blues and reds. So it might be worth going and just having a look at some color palettes. If you've got Sarah Renee Clark's color cubes, you could pull out some stuff from there. I think because it's got roses, you could very gently connect it to, you know, if you color these roses red, you could kind of try and connect it to Valentine's Day, maybe they're going for a party, maybe it's like a ball and she happens to meet the man of her dreams. I mean, it's easy to make a story. So that is Fantasy Figure Special. If you're going more along the lines of including pointy ears, I think there are a couple more designs. So this one is a bit like a gentle interpretation. I did find one in Anastasia Eli Caldereva's Mysteria. Now, again, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, because when I looked at this page, I thought, okay, fairy. But when I look at it closer, she's more like a beetle, because, you know, you've got these wings here and then the harder wings over there. So I'm not really sure where she would fit in. Maybe she's more of a beetle. Maybe she's a fairy of beetles. I'm not sure. But I am open to coloring this one. Maybe do it up on the channel during a live stream video. Yeah, that's the only one I've got. The rest are all just beautiful girls. Then this is a new to me book, Fantastic Worlds, which was a gift for Christmas. I've got, it's mainly double page spreads. So I reckon with watercolor, Inktense, I could probably speed up the process. It's definitely not something I want to color in only with pencils. It would take far too long, to be really honest. I think I would get tired of it and then I'd give up. So I'm just putting it out there. This needs to be done with mixed media. So I have this one. Now we've got bees and beautiful flowers. I'm almost inclined to think that these are like peonies, which I love peonies. They are so beautiful. So I'm inclined to do this one and then match her, or maybe contrast her to the flowers and the bees so she stands out a bit. I'm thinking maybe a blue background. I really struggle to get away from blue backgrounds, but it is what it is. The other one I really like, and again it may lend itself to a sunrise or a sunset, not sure, or just keep it real simple and just do blue. But I really do like her, and she is almost more like a butterfly fairy. This one I think is not as complex. Maybe it is. You could probably do a lot with gel pen. There's a lot of fine areas. These flowers are very interesting. In some ways they remind me of flame lilies, which are wildflowers in Mozambique, and they were my mom's favorite. My dad, whenever he saw wildflowers on the side of the road, he would pull over and pick some for her. So I have very fond memories of those particular flowers. And they came in oranges. I will try and find a photo and bring it up for you so you can see. Now, obviously, these are not exactly the same, but I would draw inspiration from flame lilies and probably use that throughout this page as inspiration. And then I would create these not as monarch butterflies, but as another butterfly I saw in Mozambique growing up. So I will find those butterflies and also bring them up for you so you can see kind of where my head is going. I haven't worked out this page though, because it looks like there's windows and archways kind of in the sky, and I just find that odd. So this is almost in the back, and then this is in the, you know, more in the foreground. So I'm finding that very, very odd and interesting all at the same time. But it is a very cool page. The other page that I really like is this one. And I've already been told to color the guinea pig after one of our guinea pigs. So I have been informed. Again, I would still, with this book, there has to be a way to use mixed media because it's just so much is going on. But I reckon if you could get all the leaves done and the background and then the tree trunk, you're getting the majority of the page done. And then you can focus on the fairy boy and his guinea pig sidekick. And then you've got the beautiful moths for colors. So I'm probably thinking, you know, aqua, maybe pinks, or very gentle yellows, pinks and greens. I think that could work really, really nicely. But I'm not yet sure what to do here as far as a color palette to kind of balance it out. So it's going to take some careful thought and planning. But that is Fantastic Worlds by Alessandra Fusi. So next I have Jasmine Becket-Griffith's coloring book. A lot of her pictures in this book are actually fairies. She does have some pages that are classified more as goddesses or gothlings. However, I'm going to focus on the ones she describes as fairies, and I'll let you know if she suggests either a fairy or an angel, and then you can decide if you are drawing inspiration for the theme. So we first have this page here, which is either a fairy or an angel, depending on how you want to look at it. And this is the Clockwork Dragon. Then you've got Paisley, which is a sweet little hippie fairy. This one doesn't really say, so we won't worry about that one. This is more of an autumnal fairy, but she is a fairy nonetheless. This is a gothling, so I'm not going to counter, but if you want to counter, go for it. Then there's this one, which is a thoughtful fairy, apparently. I don't particularly care for this page at the moment, but you could do this one. This is also a fairy. It's a raven-winged fairy. Let's just see, are any of these? So here you've got a magical fairy maiden with a witchy chalice. This one is just a girl, but you could probably do that one. That's a girl. And then here it's a dragon fairy. So you've got these three little pictures here. Then this one is a gothling, but you know, if you're counting these, then you could do that one. Obviously we're not doing pirates, so let's skip through the pirates. Not sure about that one. No, not that one. Then you have this one. Now I probably will lean towards coloring this one because my one son has asked me to color this page, and he's given me specific instructions on the color of the butterflies. These are more goddesses. Then this is either an angel or a fairy, so you get to decide. And I think this is quite a fun one. Here on her bodice, you could probably use, or for these little decorations, a gel pen, and it would work really well. You could probably even do the stars with gel pen and kind of create a bit of a mixed media approach. If you are doing the Red Riding Hood hashtag on Instagram, here's another page you could do. I think that one's more like a scavenger hunt, but it probably counts. Here is a fairy creature, so you've got that one. This is a fairy girl. Now I've already colored this page, but this one, if you have it uncolored, that would count. Oh goodness. Okay, here we have the black orchid fairy. I'm not sure about that one. This is a fairy. And this one is a fairy. So again, you've got three definite little fairy pictures you could do. So if you don't fancy a big one, that could work. This is a mysterious fairy, so maybe like an ocean fairy. I have got Poppy Magic, which I am going to still put up on the channel. I have filmed it, so I'm getting there, one step at a time. Okay, now I think the next lot are not fairies, but here is this fairy. So you could do this page. Sorry, I'm reading quickly. I think this is classified more as an angel. So again, if you want the angels to classify as fairies, you could do the angel. It's up to you. This is a Gothling fairy. So I still want to do this, but now I'm thinking I need to do it in a Caravaggio style where you've got that sharp contrast between light and dark and kind of create that dramatic flair. Because yeah, his Caravaggio's paintings are very dramatic and very intense, and I think that the style would suit this page very well. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So this is more fairy tale. Here you have a winged beauty. So again, if you want, you could do this one. Then you've got this fairy, which is an absinthe fairy. Again, you've got butterflies. Maybe this one. So it really depends what you're looking for. That's a mermaid, so we're not going to do that one. Okay, here. That would be a fairy. And this one. These two, this is more of a goddess, and this is just a girl with a wolf. Then we've got Alice in Wonderland. Here is probably more like a frog fairy. Maybe she's a guardian of frogs. Then you have the volcano fairy, which I think she's really pretty, and you could do a very vibrant sort of page there. And then these are goddesses. So the last fairy is this one, the clockwork fairy. And that is it. So those are all the fairies in Jasmine Becket-Griffith's colouring book. Now I will most likely colour one of them. I doubt I'll colour all of them. And finally, I have Drumond Vanger by Tomislav Tomic. Not all the pages in here have fairies, but I will try and show you the ones that do, and you can decide what you think. Okay, so I've got the beginning, which is a fairy poking out and saying hello. I didn't tag in here, so there is this one. However, I'm more inclined to leave this one for unicorn, the month where we do unicorns. I think it's June. Right, so there's a whole lot of like ocean ones here, not that one. Sometimes you have to look very carefully because there can be small fairies hidden in here. So I have this whip, which I would like to finish. So even if I finish this whip, I will be happy because I've got 5 fairies I can do. Those are gnomes. So I've got a fairy here. I think that could work, especially if you use Inktense pencils, you know, for the background. I think you could make that work quite easily. I don't think those are fairies. think this is more like a fairy tale. It reminds me more of a fairy tale, like a Snow White or Sleeping Beauty kind of thing. Okay, this isn't really fairies. So here is a fairy, both sides. You've got fairies. So either one of those pages would work. This page, I think it's a double page spread. So again, you've got fairy here, here, and hiding inside the house. I don't think there's too much on this side. So definitely just, even if you colored that page, I would count it. If I was doing it, I would count it. Then you do have this one, and I don't think this would be terribly long to color, because you could use gel pens over here and then build it up into colored pencil. The background is all, if you do Inktense pencils, Neocolor 2s, gouache paint, you could very easily just, you know, paint that. And then Inktense for the building, because I think if you're making the butterflies the center points, you could really be quick about the rest. So I think this is a great option. Then here you've got a little fairy. Obviously, if you haven't done this page, there's this page. Okay, so that's up to that point. All right, here over here is a fairy. So this page you could definitely do. Okay, so those are all the fairy pages in Drumond Vanger by Thomas Love Tomic, and that is all the fairy pages that I have found so far in my coloring book collection. I think there's more than enough to keep me going for a few years, and they really are lovely to color, and I really enjoy them. I think Christine Karen is probably up there as one of my favorite artists when it comes to fairies, and she has got many books over on Amazon with fairies in them. So especially her fairy and fantasy series, I think she's got like 5 books in that series. So there really are many options for you. Jasmine Becket-Griffith is one of my favorites as well, and then there are many others. So that is going to be my focus for February. I'm going to be focusing on some of my other goals, but also on coloring fairies, and I think that that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited for that. Let me know which pages you really would like to see on the channel, whether it's as a live stream video or as a color and chat, or even a color along. Let me know, and I can then jot it down and make sure that I can at the very least do one of them. So thanks everyone. I've enjoyed showing you my fairies, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. As always, please do like, subscribe, comment below. Until next time everyone, take care. Bye.